Doorbell rings, he drops a bag outside. When we read the fucking mail, it's a hell of a ride. One from a buddy, two for the show, 3 orange slices and away we go. Listen to mail, listen to mail. Gilbert and Frank's very amazing colossal mailbag. Colossal mailbag. Colossal mailbag. Mailbag.
Hi, this is Gilbert Gottfried, and I'm here with my co-host Frank Santopadre, and this is Gilbert and Frank's amazing colossal obsessions. Now, let's get some old news out of the way first.
What's the old news? Your son's signature on the table here?
Yes! Yes!
Did you call him and tell him?
Yeah. I look down. I see this little drawing that I know my son always draws this weird character and his name.
Yep.
And so he obviously... So I guess this is a good sign.
Well, yeah, we should let everybody know that we're in a new facility. We are no longer... Frank Verderosa is still here with us.
Hello.
Hi, Frankie. But we're in Earwolf's brand spanking new space.
Yeah. And
on Bryant Park.
And my son beat me to it.
How was your son here without you?
There was a show. What was the name of that? Was that Mr. Talk Show? Mr. Game
what's the name
Show?
of that show? Ask Dave knows. Oh, Dr. Game Show.
Dr. Game Show.
Yes, it's an Earwolf show.
And my son and daughter were on it, and my son signed the table.
Your son and daughter are being booked without you?
Yes. Yeah.
Shows?
Yeah.
Are they purposely trying to keep it from you?
Yeah.
I assume Dara was here with them?
Yeah.
It's a family act. What do you call it?
We should explain. We're in Earwolf's new studio, and there is a butcher block table, if you're not familiar with Earwolf's other shows where they've mentioned it. And everybody that's here, both guests and hosts, sign the table. So we're sitting at a butcher block table with about 500 signatures on it.
Yeah.
And one of those is Max Gottfried.
Yeah.
So, yes, we've been off all summer.
And because this is a new studio,
Yeah.
we just did another interview with our pal, Alan Swibel.
We did.
And you and Alan Swibel went off to the men's room to go pee. And
You're giving them a whole behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't actually pee together.
Yeah.
Side by side.
And I thought something's going on in there. Because this is the longest pee anyone's ever
We were having a
taken.
George Maharis moment. I was perfecto.
Yes. And
We couldn't find a paper bag to stand in.
yeah.
That was the issue.
And I'm wondering what's taking so long.
We were locked out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally, I heard screaming.
You finally did hear screaming?
Finally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You were sitting in here with the door closed and you heard screaming.
No, I was walking around
get
because
a look.
I
Looking for
figured,
snacks.
Oh, you were on a snack raid.
Yeah.
Tell the truth.
And there are no snacks here.
Well, they don't know who they're dealing with
Yeah.
yet here with you.
Yeah.
They'll adjust.
Oh, and I should tell you too, last time we did a whole game, which I got every question right when we were doing a Columbo quiz.
Oh, yeah, that was great.
And you were making fun of me saying, because I said that Larry Storch
Correct.
was on Columbo. The episode
Yes.
where Dick Van Dyke is the murderer,
Was pointed out.
Larry Storch shows up as
A driving instructor. Right. I was making fun of you because you thought Larry Storch was a celebrity killer.
That would have been great. Well, that was wishful thinking.
Yes, it was. But we did point out that Forrest Tucker was a victim on a Columbo episode.
Yeah. He was beaten to death with his own dick.
So it would be very hard to find the murder weapon.
And I forget this guy's name,
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan something,
Yeah.
because I think you answered him on Twitter.
Okay.
And he said Lon Chaney Jr. was in Spider Baby
That's right.
with Sid Haig.
Haig.
He was in Lon Chaney Jr. was in Spider Baby with Sid Haig,
Yeah.
who was in Choo Choo and the Philly Flash,
Right.
with Jack Warden, who was in Problem Child with me.
Fantastic.
But then I thought, too,
That's what, 3 steps?
Yeah.
Three degrees?
I was in a movie. Well, I did an animated movie with Sly Stallone.
Yeah, Animal Crackers.
Yeah.
Right.
So Sly Stallone
Right.
was in Rocky with
Burgess
Meredith,
Meredith.
who was, of course, in Of Mice and Men
With Lon Chaney.
Jr.
Very good. Very good.
Pretty,
2 degrees.
yeah.
If I have this right.
Yes.
So that episode we did, The 6 Degrees of Gilbert Gottfried, that was a pretty popular episode.
Oh,
Because a lot of
yes.
fans started writing in and doing their own versions.
It's so weird. It's like the fans we have will come up with the most obscure stuff, and they'll skate circles around us.
Yeah,
sometimes.
they really got into that. They really got into the Columbo
Oh yeah,
episode. Yeah.
and they'll get angry.
Oh, and
at
they got
us.
angry because I didn't remember that Jessica Walter
Oh yes,
was also
yes.
a Columbo killer. That
Yeah.
I'd only mentioned Ed Begley and Dick Van Dyke and
Yeah.
Lee Grant.
Jessica Walter says hi, by the way.
Oh, you saw Jessica.
Oh,
She
very
came down
nice.
to our where Nutmeg is working.
How'd she like the new space?
She liked it.
We love her.
Yeah, she was a lot of fun.
She's the only guest we ever had who actually sang to us
Yes,
without us requesting that they sang, without you mangling the.
Oh, and some guy sent me a gift. I think his name is like D. Kinski or.
Oh,
Kinski.
David Kinski.
Yes.
Yes, he sent you the Marx Brothers book.
Yeah.
He sent me one too, so we have to thank him.
Yeah.
That book is. I posted on Facebook. You're not going to believe this Marx Brothers coffee table book.
Yeah.
And he wrote me to thank me. He said you must have some following on Facebook because I just sold 30 books.
Yeah.
Or something like that. And I think he only printed 500 to begin with. Drew has some stuff in there. Did you go
Yeah.
through the book?
Yeah.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
It's wild to see those old movie theaters when movies were new
Oh God.
in the early 30s when movie theaters were show places.
Yeah,
because it was new business.
when you got dressed up to go to the movies.
Yeah, and it's incredible to see how much effort was made to deck out these movie theaters for a Marx Brothers movie. People on the streets in costume and decking out the marquee
Yeah.
and inflatable dolls and all kinds of stuff. And there's color color photos in there, set
Yeah.
photos. And there's a photo of Harpo without the wig. Did you see that? In a
Oh.
rehearsal for Animal Crackers?
No.
Yeah, take a look. Take another look at the
Yeah.
book. There's some great photos in there, and a forward by Bill Marx. So we have to get on the show.
Yes.
we have to
yes.
get Bill in here.
And are both of Groucho had 2 daughters.
There was Melinda. Gesundheit.
Yeah.
There was Melinda, and I'm having trouble remembering the other daughter's name.
Yeah, they all were.
Shame
had
on me.
M sounds.
Yeah. Of course, Stolier would know. I think one of them passed, and one of them is with us. We do not have Raybone with us this week.
No.
So we do not have our crack research.
That's why we'll be able to find answers to these questions much quicker.
There is a computer right next to you, Gilbert.
It's a little. You think Gilbert's going to move over there and use that
Yeah.
computer?
Oh, geez.
Hey, it's nothing to sneeze at. It's a
Yes.
Macintosh.
I think he had 2 daughters. The one
Yeah.
where he famously made the crack. She can only go into the pool.
Oh, yes.
At the restricted country club up to her waist because she was half Jewish. I think that was the second daughter. I
Yeah.
think that was Melinda. But there was another daughter.
Yeah.
We've been off for a while now. What, a month?
Yeah.
How long have we
Yes.
been away from each other?
Oh, God.
I've missed you terribly.
Yes.
You're off doing television shows for HGTV.
Yeah.
Was that with the flea market flip?
Oh, yeah.
You did? There's pictures of you with power tools on social media that terrified me. We're in the brand new space. Verta Rosa is still here. We met the new staff here, the lovely people at Earwolf. We met
and
Dave.
I did a
And
skit
Harry?
on the show, Dweck.
Oh, you did that thing
Yeah.
about the football players kneeling.
Yes.
Somebody sent that to
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
So a lot of people seem to like that.
Yeah. I like.
Who wrote that?
Tom.
Was it Tom Leopold? Yeah, because Tom's in it with you. What else do we have to get to?
How do you see Dweck? Well, I guess you
It's
got
on
to
it.
look up Dweck.
I gotta say, I saw Tom's post and looked for it. I can't find it He'll have to tell us where to find it.
Yeah.
Oh, it was on Facebook somewhere. Would you play the head of the? You
yeah.
played
I was a PR
a
guy
PR guru.
who says that the kneeling thing's the best thing in the world.
Right. I just saw you cursing a lot.
Yeah.
I just saw you calling everybody a fuck,
Yeah.
and I thought this is up his alley. We had a couple of passings too. The great Barbara Harris
Oh, yeah.
from Family Plot and Freaky Friday and many other movies, and Aretha, of
Yeah.
course. Were you at the Friars Club roast when Aretha sang the national anthem, and Jeff Ross got up and made that joke about her, and she gave him the finger?
Oh, was this the fat lady?
Yes. She opened the show, no disrespect to Aretha, of course, who we just lost, but Jeff Ross got up, and Aretha had opened the show by singing the national anthem, a beautiful rendition, by the way, and Jeff got up and said, I thought the show was, what did he say? I thought the show wasn't over till the fat lady sang? I'm fucking up the joke, but she just flashed him the bird from the dais
And
without flinching.
When she died, I wanted to find a picture of me and her together because I said, I know.
You took a picture with her?
Yeah.
Queen of Soul.
And this was at the end. She was on Saturday Night Live.
Oh.
And I'm there with looking like Michael Jackson with my old hair.
Your Jufro.
Yeah.
Wow, that season of Saturday Night Live was booking Aretha Franklin?
Yes.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty damn good. I worked with her on an award show. She was great. I mean, the highlight was being able to invite my wife and my relatives to come see her sing live.
Oh, my God.
TV Land Awards. And she did 3 numbers and just a thrill. We lost Neil Simon.
Yes.
The great Doc Simon. We were sitting here talking to Alan Zweibel about him. Alan knew him.
Do you think we should have tried to get him on the show?
Oh,
You did worse.
We did.
Because the most recent episode that ran
With Riegert?
he was mentioned.
Was he?
And then I was just editing Jonathan Lynn for Monday, and Neil Simon is mentioned.
Oh, boy.
And also mentioned is that story of Jackie Mason giving the finger. And it's the 3rd or 4th account of it, but a totally different spin.
I know.
Have we ever tried to get Neil Simon on?
Well, he had dementia for a good number of years, and I think even when we started the show in 2014, and I think he was a reluctant interview even under the best of circumstances.
Oh, and
can you count? You remember too many Neil Simon?
No.
That many Neil Simon interviews?
I remember a Neil Simon interview I heard like many years ago.
Somewhat reclusive.
I heard another dementia story.
Oh, about Tim Conway.
Tim Conway.
Yeah, that's heartbreaking.
That's
We've
sad.
known that for months. Actually, it was just announced, but we've known it for months. You know, we dig into these people. We try to track them down. We call publicists. We call friends of friends, people who they know who have been on our show, and we knew that for about 8 or 10 months.
And with like the age group we go after, it's like sometimes when you ask them, they could be totally ready to go.
Oh, yeah.
Then within a day or so.
Sure, we've had them lose it in the middle of an interview.
Yes. We won't.
And that includes us.
Yeah.
Truth be told, we asked Tim Conway maybe about 2 years ago, and I worked with him again on the Mark Twain Prize. He was wonderful and but shy. Another guy I think not really comfortable doing interviews.
Yeah, if he was one of those people, like if he was in character.
Yeah, he'd do shtick in an interview, but he didn't strike me as the kind of guy that would go deep into his own life or his own feelings or his own even his own memories. We'll never know. But funny. I could tell you stories about that Mark Twain Prize and the rehearsal dinner, and he stole the show. He was so brilliant. But anyway, yeah. I mean, you're going to deal with that when you're dealing with the kind of bookings that we do on this show, where we're trying to get people, who have this history to draw upon.
And we won't say the name, but one time. I mean, we've had a few who would seem like they'd get a little tired in the middle.
Yeah, but isn't that true of us?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
As well, we also lost a guest. We lost Charlotte Rae.
Yes.
Yeah.
She was so funny on
Buy her book.
Buy her book.
Oh, yes.
Buy her
Well,
book.
because whoever was with her
Yeah.
kept asking, well, are you going to plug a book?
Yeah.
So
I
after
think it was
that,
her son.
it was like,
publicist.
oh, and make sure you buy her book.
She was hilarious. Yeah, we kept trying to get her to talk about Car 54.
Yeah.
And then for about 40 minutes into the show, she says, how long is this show?
Oh, yeah.
Because I think she thought, or nobody told her that
It's going to be like a radio
interview was going to be 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and nobody briefed her that it was a career retrospective, that it was an hour. But you got her talking about Sylvia Schnauzer.
Oh, yeah.
And she didn't like Joey Ross very much.
Should we re-release that episode?
Maybe. Maybe we'll look into it. It's behind the paywall, but by this point.
Yeah.
She was funny. The thing with the thing where she kept going back to the book. We were trying to get her to remember obscure stuff, and like she'd worked with Paul Lynn in college.
Yes.
Yeah, and we were trying to get her to remember Hello Down There.
Oh,
where
my
she
God.
was the housekeeper when Ken Berry and Tony Randall lived in the underwater city, in the underwater home, and all of this stuff. And I wish I could see the look on her face while we were peppering her with these questions from jobs that she'd done 45 years ago that she had no memory of.
She forgot about it after she was through doing it.
Absolutely. But all things considered, we've been doing this show 4 years, a little over 4. We've done over 230 shows now. We have not lost that many people.
No.
So
we've lost more episodes than people.
We have.
Yeah, thanks to you.
It wasn't me.
It wasn't him. But this, I find strange that we interviewed, I think, 12 or 15 people, I've said this before on the show, in their 90s. And all of them are still with us.
And
Al Jaffe, Peter Marshall, Larry Storch, Lee Grant, Roger Corman, and more. Dick Van Dyke and Carl Reiner and Norman Lear, obviously. They're all still, and Bill Mason.
And
they're all still with us.
Forget who sent this tweet, but he mentioned one or two of the guests we had, and he said, and once again, the podcast is teaching us we have nothing to fear with our 80s and 90s.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah.
I love when people write things
They
like that.
died right after they tweeted that.
All right, you.
It was very tragic.
Quickly, we want to also thank, in addition to David Kinski for sending us the wonderful Marx Brothers book, I want to thank our pal Eric Ryan, who writes a lot about the show, tweets a lot about the show. He sent me, Gilbert, you would appreciate this. I may give this to you because I'm not a coffee drinker. He sent me orange-flavored coffee in honor of Cesar Romero.
Oh, jeez.
Very specific gift. I love it. I'm not a coffee drinker. Maybe you and Frank can enjoy it.
And I should say that when we were interviewing just now, Alan Zweibel, somehow the name Danny Thomas came up.
Yeah.
And he knew immediately.
Of course.
Yeah.
Who do you think you're dealing with?
And then Alan Zweibel told us a Danny Thomas reference when he was talking to I forget his name, the Larry Sanders.
Gary Shandling.
Gary.
Yeah, he told us a funny Gary Shandling
he was
response.
talking to Gary Shandling about Danny Thomas, and Gary Shandling once again.
Of course. Everybody knows that. I think people at this point, people who aren't in show business and have never wanted to be in show business know that story. I also want to thank James Wren, another listener of the show. He sent me Dolomite. Do you remember Dolomite?
Oh, my God, yeah.
Rudy Ray Moore?
Yes.
Yeah, he sent me 3 DVDs of Dolomite, Disco Godfather and the Human Tornado. Dolomite, which the New York Times called the Citizen Kane of Kung Fu Pimpin' Films. And Larry and Scott, our friends, Larry Karaszewski and Scott Alexander, are writing a movie. In fact, they just wrapped, where Dolomite is played by Eddie Murphy.
Oh, wow.
And Chris Rock's in it, and Keegan-Michael Key, and a lot of other people. So there you go. So we got to have Larry and Scott come back and talk about Dolomite.
Yeah.
Now, last but not least,
now,
a fan sent this to Gilbert. I'm moving a box across the table.
I think it's Hervé Villechaise's coffin.
This is a box about 1.5 feet long.
I hope it's the monkeys from the comic book.
Nope. This was sent by Andy McCanna of Elkhorn, Wisconsin, and he has a business and he made this.
I'm scared.
This is a handmade gift, Gilbert, so I want you to be impressed. I'm opening the box.
I'm more scared now.
And can you see what this is? Do you want me to?
Oh, it's a bowling pin. A bowling pin of Jafar and Iago.
Look at that.
Wow.
Isn't that fantastic? He made that for you.
Wow, that's real. Oh, thank you.
I wish we had video so Andy could see the look on Gilbert's face.
We'll take a picture when we're done, and
we'll take a picture and we'll put it up on social for Andy and everybody else. But isn't that impressive handiwork?
Wow.
Look at that. Look at that Iago.
Yeah.
Put that right in your house next to your Iago doll.
Yeah.
That's on your counter. Look at that. I'm going to take it out.
Gee.
So there it is. It's
clever.
There you go, Andy. It is clever. He has a business, which I'm going to plug. He does this. Pinheads, custom-made bowling pins.
Brilliant.
So we can get a Danny Thomas one and a Caesar one, and what else do we need? Alan Ladd.
And on the table to welcome me to the show,
an orange.
Is an orange, yes. It's not a reference to The Godfather. It's
I thought you grabbed that. I figured you saw it was for free and you took it.
Yes.
I'm gonna read 5 or 10 minutes of tweets. I need Dave back in here because I'm using Dave's phone and now I'm locked out. I need his password. Is Dave still in there?
Well, just tell everybody Dave's password. It's
okay.
763.
Okay, Dave, you want to knock that out for me? Because I'm going to read a couple of quick tweets from fans. What a guy! All right, Gil. How about that? How about that pin?
Yeah.
Isn't that fantastic?
Yes. Thank you.
And it's good because now Gilbert can crinkle that paper the whole rest of the episode right by his microphone.
And this
Lovely.
This is what. Don't torment him.
Yes.
We'll do about 10 minutes of tweets here just to get get back in the swing of things and allow people to hear their voice. Perfect segue. This is from Thad Komarovsky. Hey, don't think I heard it brought up on the podcast, but Ren and Stimpy had a collection of celebrity glass coffee tables on the Ren and Stimpy show that Stimpy destroyed, prompting a nervous breakdown, and Danny Thomas was front and center. Here, he sent pictures. This is a signed coffee table. Danny Thomas coffee table from a Ren and Stimpy episode.
Wow.
So there you go. So it was not only on Veep, but it was on the Ren and Stimpy show. So very much out in the culture.
Yes.
As it has been for years. That was from Thad Komarovsky. Trip Great says, hey guys, Jack Palance was on a Tonight Show rerun from 1991. We talked about Jack Palance with Bruce Vilanch.
Oh, yeah.
Who did the push-ups on the Oscars. It was amazing. Anyone who wants to understand Jack Palance should watch this. A great man. That was that Vilanch episode.
Oh,
maybe as popular and as funny as any episode that we did.
Yeah.
And I think the Joan Crawford peeing on David Niven story has now entered. What do you think?
Yeah, that definitely will be repeated on this show.
That has become a part of it. William Wennickers wants to say, guys, the Belzer Leopold and Schaefer episode was a delight. Thanks, gents. It was good to see the Bells again.
Yeah, it's funny. Like when we had them on, Leopold, Belzer, and
Paul Schaefer.
And Paul Schaefer, of course.
Plastic's going to drive Frank crazy, so I'm going to take it.
It's reminding me of when we made that little video at the 200th episode.
Yeah.
And I started deliberately scratching the lav mic, talking about the importance of good audio.
Oh, yeah.
I'm having flashbacks to that.
And Paul opening that package of cookies.
For 3 hours.
Chips.
That took a month. And what was funny about that episode with the three of them, we weren't sure. That was one of those episodes we weren't sure about because we thought, oh, well, they're all kind of talking over each other.
Yeah, a couple of people had issues with that.
Mess.
Yeah.
But people,
by and large, they liked it.
People loved it.
Well, we try to get that Danny Rose vibe.
Yes.
Of people. Occasionally, we like to do a group episode, and we try. And it's very hard. You're not directing a movie. You know, it's not Broadway Danny Rose where they can keep stopping the camera and do new takes and people stop talking. It's a little bit of a free-for-all.
Yeah.
So you're going to get what you get. And some people dig that and some people are thrown by it.
Yeah. Oh, it's fun to mix when you have that many people.
I'm sure it was.
That's delightful.
I'm sure it was. Greg W. On today's Real Gilbert Mini Obsessions, Skelton Nags is Columbo. You said that Skelton Nags, he drew Skelton Nags.
Oh, wow.
Pretty good, huh?
That is a good skeleton.
Nice job, Greg.
Or as I say, Knags.
It might be Knags.
And there was a movie on TV, a Boris Karloff film called Isle of the Dead.
Yeah, I know that one.
And Skelton.
Skelton turned up?
He shows up.
You need a red Skelton Knags double feature. 3 oranges. He writes us a lot. When either of my cats do something wrong now, I say, "You motherfucker, you little shit," in Ed Sullivan's voice, because he loved that. Chuck and Riley, another podcast guest on Columbo, I told you, was Jessica Walter.
Yes.
In Mind Over Mayhem. That episode even had Robbie the Robot.
Oh, yeah.
In it.
How many episodes have featured that, like the Ed Sullivan, the finger moment?
Oh, my God. So many. Well, you were just asking about the discrepancy. Jonathan Lynn, who's next week's guest, or whenever the hell this
Monday.
runs.
Well, last week's people will hear this after.
Last week's guest, or this week's guest. He was there. He was one of the few people who was actually... I mean, Van Johnson was there. We can't ask him for an eyewitness account.
Yeah, because Belzer said it was the Bay City Rollers, and he was adamant about it.
Right, but he was wrong.
But Jonathan Lynn said it was the Animals.
Was the Animals. It was, in fact, the Animals. Belzer had his dates wrong because the Bay City Rollers didn't come along for another half a decade or more. But, yeah, that story has come up. Byner told us.
Oh, yeah. He does a whole imitation
of
it going... You know, you motherfucker, you cocksucker. We've got fucking nuns watching this show.
Did he say something anti-Semitic? In some versions I've heard he's saying he's calling Mason a little Jew. And
yeah.
Here's how anal people are, too. We talk about people correcting us. Jeff Siegel. Frank, am I within the first 100 people to tell you that the Shatner episode of The Twilight Zone mentioned this week was titled Nightmare at 20,000 feet, not 40,000 feet. This is how up our ass these people are. Yes, I realized it as soon as I said it, that it was 20,000 feet. People are having a field day with the thing about Raybone missing all the body parts.
Oh, yes.
They're sending in, Captain Renault wants you to know nothing, I said nothing, beats Gilbert's old Groucho.
Oh, thank you.
So if we get Bill Marks on here, will you do old Groucho? Will you have the balls to do old Groucho for him?
No, on a recent episode, I threw in, we had recorded some, wraparounds for the commercial breaks, and you did an old Groucho that went on. It goes on for like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And I recently threw that into an episode. Just figured people would appreciate it.
I mean, that's his bread and butter.
One time, I ran into Dick Cavett in a hotel lobby, and I went up to him and started doing the old Groucho. And then riding in the elevator, I continued doing the old Groucho. And then finally he ran away from me, and I waited.
Who was this?
Dick Cavett.
Dick Cavett.
And then I called his room, and he goes, "Hello?"
I love it.
And I said, when we were filming A Night at the Opera, an opera back then was when people would sing. It was a form of singing.
Was he in stitches? Did he love it?
Well, at first he loved it. Then he
couldn't stop. He couldn't wait to get away from you.
I was torturing him with it.
We have an upcoming guest. I don't know what the schedule is. I guess he's after the next week's guest, or in 2 weeks, who has some Groucho stories, who has some personal Groucho stories. And we'll let people guess who that is. Troy says, I couldn't believe that Real Gilbert had to guess to get Ruth Gordon during the Columbo quiz. I was screaming Ruth Gordon, over and over in my car, and other motorists thought I was nuts. These people are locked in.
Yeah, they are.
Gilbert.
I don't think a lot of them realize we can hear when they yell at the radio like that. We're able to hear that.
Let's see. Hey, guy, Tim Hanlon. Will you try for Olivia de Havilland for an interview? No rush. She's only 102. Yeah. You think Olivia de Havilland would... No, Olivia Haviland's not doing a podcast at 102.
Somehow I don't think so.
I don't think so either. Let's see, what else do we have? Erica D., thanks so much in your Columbo episode for mentioning Vera Miles. No one else mentions her, which makes me quite sad. She's a terrific lady and one of my faves from classic Hollywood. She is 89. Vera Miles from Psycho.
Oh, my God, yeah.
Should we try Vera Miles? That's kind of interesting.
See, now, Peter Falk, that was a sad end.
It was. That was a revelation to our fans that you knew how to do such a great Peter Falk.
Yeah.
People did not see that coming. TV's Chris Kenny. Are you sure the victim in the Columbo episode titled Murder Under Glass wasn't? Danny Thomas.
Excuse me, Mr. Thomas, I'm a big fan of yours. Now, we found a coffee table. You know, in my house, my wife is very strict about keeping a coffee table clear.
What have we done?
And now yours looks it felt sticky. If Mr. Thomas.
Oh, God. Possibly why they never booked Danny Thomas on Columbo. They didn't want the trouble. Albany Josh says, when will you guys do another live podcast? You've done some great ones. The dynamic difference is fun to hear for the listener.
Yeah.
Yeah. Live episodes are another one of those things like group episodes where not everybody digs them.
No.
But some people do. It definitely does change the dynamic.
Yeah.
We've done 7.
Yeah.
Susie Essman.
Someone recently recommended getting Whoopi for an episode.
Yes, I saw that. Yeah, that person is really, really on top of things.
Yes.
Did Gilbert know, Raymond Treadway, did Gilbert know that this movie is coming down the pipeline? It is My Dinner with Hervé, starring Peter Dinklage.
Yes.
Is playing Hervé Villechaize. You knew this existed?
Yeah. I wonder why they chose him.
It's a horrible idea. Peter Dinklage's voice is so amazing, so resonant.
Yeah.
How are they going to get him
But
to do
I
that?
I'm sure he
saw
can pull it off.
a trailer where he was doing.
Was it a short trailer?
A teaser, really.
A teaser.
Brendan Bliss, our pal Brendan Bliss, who does those wonderful animations for us. I was screaming into my device. Jessica Walter was on season 3 of Columbo.
Oh.
These people.
No. Our fans are the fans of this podcast are they're obsessed.
That's why we call this mini episode Colossal Obsessions.
Yeah.
Someone else wrote me, I don't have it here. They're upset that there are no actual clips of Dick and Stinky to be found on YouTube. They want to see you and Belzer doing Dick and Stinky. Frank, maybe you can call up this song and we'll rap with it if you feel like doing it. And I'll jump to something else after you do this. But Ernest the Third, says, guys, forget about Mrs. Robinson. I want to hear Gilbert sing this Sinatra nugget. And he sends a link to a song called Bim Bam Baby.
Huh.
Can you
You want it live or do you want it in post? Because I'm not set up to record.
We'll throw it on in post.
That sounds like it would be great enough by itself.
We'll throw it on in post. Did you know this song?
No.
Bim Bam Baby?
But that sounds like a great one.
And we'll end with this. Peter G. writes, I just finished the latest Colossal podcast with Bruce Valanche. I never figured he would be such a great guest. Well, we certainly did. The image of Bruce getting fisted by Jim Henson
Yes.
has forever damaged my psyche. And Next Step says Sid and Marty were really funny, too. We were in a roll, I have to say, in the second half of the year. From Richard Donner to Billy West to Patton Oswalt to Keith Carradine.
It's always
a great run of shows.
We're constantly surprised. Like even people where we enjoy the interview and we like them.
Yeah.
We're surprised how certain ones catch on.
Yeah.
Really big.
Yeah. You'd never know.
There are people that we've interviewed and thought, oh, well, that was all right.
Yeah. Sometimes you think that's just another show that we need to get through the week. But then the response on social media is...
Yeah, sometimes we'll have those shows where
passionate.
we go, well, it can't all be great.
Yeah. I'll tell you this, though. When I go back to hear them, when I'm doing the paper edit, and I go back and I listen to them, and I almost inevitably turn to my wife and say, this is better than I thought it was.
Oh, yeah.
This is much better than I thought it was. Because I'm in the mode of a listener, and I'm not actually in the middle of the show picking apart the things that aren't exactly the way I want them to be. And boy, I tell you, not to toot our own horn, but I think our second half of 2018. We really had some. Of course, there's still a couple of months left in the year, but we have some great bookings coming.
Yeah,
we have some wonderful people coming. We won't tell you who they are.
No,
one is a TV icon. I think you know who I mean.
We don't. We're trying to get Olivia to have one.
No, we're not.
I don't want to rush this one.
What about Kirk
is Scarlett
Douglas?
Johansson coming?
Gilbert would love that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, she's coming. Well, we'll wrap this.
She is in my fantasies. Scarlett Johansson is coming constantly.
Did you see the thing where Scarlett Johansson was chosen to be the first black 007?
Yes, I saw that.
That was brilliant.
Yeah,
Yes.
very funny. Very funny. As were all the people who were trolling Fox News after the Aretha Franklin debacle where they put Patti LaBelle up. Was also funny. Anyway, we're back. We've been off 5 weeks, 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Gilbert's sitting here with his brand new Aladdin bowling pin. Andy McCanna, wonderful work. We'll take a picture of this and share it with everybody. And thanks to everybody who sent stuff. We're happy to be in the new space here.
Yeah.
And Ray Bone will be back with us next week for everybody that's that's missing Ray Bone.
Yes.
So all 5 of you, stay tuned.
For all of you,
he's still on vacation.
For all of you who are out there going, gee, I hope there's some questions that never get answered when Raybone comes back.
He'll be back next week. We'll be back next week. More great guests. Thank you, Earwolf. Thank you, Frank.
This has been Gilbert and Frank's amazing, colossal obsession.
Here's that Sinatra song.